Hey guys, JCC2224 doing a wave overview of Age of Extinction Wave 1. Yeah, this is the Wave 1 of all the deluxes of Age of Extinction, or at least for Wave 1. And I plan on doing this. I plan on making this regular thing where I do wave overviews of Age of Extinction toys. And first video is going to be Age of Extinction Deluxe Wave 1, and then next video is either going to be Voyager Wave 1 or Deluxe Wave 2. So I decided to look at the alt modes first, and how I'm going to do this, I'm going to go over the alt mode, I'm going to jump cut to the robot mode, and then I'm going to talk about that. So first let's look at Scorn. First thing you might notice, gullet's gone. Yeah, I actually modified it. What I did, I just unscrewed it, and the gullet was easy to pop out, popped out the gullet, and he hasn't got a gullet. And that was really my major complaint with him, and now that he doesn't have it, I really don't miss it. I mean, I just don't. It was really unnecessary to begin with, and overall it just wasn't really needed. I really don't know why it was there. And overall I think it just does the figure better that it's not there. Overall I love the Dino mode. It's really articulated, it looks really nice, and I'd say it's pretty in scale with Grimlock. I mean, I think most of these Dinobots are, except for Slash. I mean, they're generally in scale, but, you know, they're certainly not going to be in scale with the cars, unfortunately. If they would be in scale with those, they'd all be like Leader or Supreme classes. So, yeah, I see why they didn't go with that. So, Scorn, Batman, but Scorn, what's going on with Scorn? Well, his Dino mode is fantastic. I just love it. The colors of the orange and the red and the gray and the silver, it just all mixes really nicely. But I don't really like this PVC tail because it's sort of like sticky almost. And I have a feeling that red paint is just going to come off over the years, you know. It's just going to come off. Here, let me show you Wave 2 Slash with similar PVC. You can see how it's almost starting to wear off right there. Yeah, you know, I understand why they did it. You know, make it for safety reasons. But, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of getting carried away with it. And they're putting it in spots that really didn't need it. But overall, I really do like Scorn. Now let's go ahead and jump over to his robot mode. First off, the first thing I think about Scorn is his head is awesome. Yeah, it kind of goes against the normal Bayverse, like, super complicated head, and it just makes it, bam, I'm a knight. That's kind of the whole theme of these so-called Dinobots. They all have a knight theme to them, and Scorn is no exception. Can't talk today. All of them have a very knightly head. All of them have the pointed toes, and all of them have their own knightly weapon. He has a lance, and I think this lance really works. It's made out of his tail, and it sort of goes for a Beast Wars Megatron sort of thing. But I think it works. I really do like the lance, and overall, I just think he has a great appearance. And talking about that gullet, what the gullet did in robot mode, if you want to hold that out, it would go like that. But without it, it just makes it, you know, so it can go more flush. So the gullet just caused problems. Why was it there? I myself, I don't like that big gaping hole in him, so I just close it up. You know, I really don't care. Yeah, Scorn. I really like him. He's probably my favorite figure out of the whole wave, I do have to say. He's so nice. And even though I really like him, when it comes to the Dinobots that I constantly just want to pick up and mess with, that goes to Slug. I don't know why. I just like Slug a lot. Yeah, Slag in G1, or Slut. Yeah, Slut was pretty cool in G1, and then they changed his name to Slug because Slut was too slaggy slut. So, Slug. Yep, that's a tongue twister. But, yeah, this is Slug, and I like it. I really do. I think the purple and the red isn't the greatest color combo, but the purple is so nice. It just, oh man, this purple color. It just looks so nice on him. And I like how you can kind of do that. I like that. You can also bob his head up and down, which is nice, and open his jaw. But overall, there really isn't much going on for Slug. I mean, you could sort of like store his weapons like that, and it's like a charging, and he's ugh. But there is kind of a way you can store it right there in the underbelly. There's a little like gap, and you can just sort of like put it in there if you want. I'm not going to do it right now, because quite frankly, I'm not going to stay on the dino mode long. Let's go to the robot mode. This is a robot mode. Yeah, it's a robot mode. Probably my only complaints with the robot mode is that it just sort of, I don't like that V shape going on. It just kind of seems like a cheap little drawing that I would have made when I was like 10 or something, where I didn't know how to draw a torso, so I just made it a V. But yeah, you know, Slug looks nice. This may sound weird, but he knows how to use himself. He has a really, you know what I mean, he knows how to utilize his parts and his mass, and he just does a really cool like split open feature when he's transforming, and it just exposes him, and it just gets it all there. I love how the arms go. I really like it, especially converting him from robot to dino. I just love how that flows. Overall, this figure just flows. Yet again, pointy toes. But yeah, he has his own knightly weapons, those being of swords. A lot of these figures come with swords, but those are his only weapons. So I'm going to say his signature weapon is swords. His head sculpt is awesome. Absolutely fantastic head sculpt. Just looking at that thing, you can actually pop it off and get a better look here. Yeah, it is obviously a knight. It is obviously badass. Yeah, this is, I think it's based on the jousters, like the, you know, the knights that jousted. So he kind of should have came with the lance, but oh well. Yeah, Slug, he's awesome. I like him. You should too. You should buy him. Bye bye, Slug. Next up, we're looking at our good old friend, beep boop beep 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 boop boo, Radio Talk Bumblebee. Hi, hello, it's Bumblebee. Yeah, you can actually stand up like that. Vehicle mode, robot. Vehicle, robot. Same thing with good old Crosshairs. See, look, vehicle, robot. Vehicle, robot. Hours of fun. So this is Bumblebee. Yeah, it's a classic Camaro. It's obviously a classic Camaro. Probably the only problem I have with it is that you can see all that yellow in there, and I don't like the yellow right there. It kind of breaks it up. Almost makes it look like he has nostrils or something. I don't know. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, that aside, which you're going to get that with every Bumblebee. By the way, really nice head sculpt. I mean, it's a really interesting figure, and I think the conversion is really neat. So let's get over to the robot mode and see how that turned out. First thing I have to say, if you don't like all the yellow, just buy the Takara one. Yeah, he's yellow, very yellow. He kind of makes up for the lack of yellow in his vehicle mode, and just, bam, I'm yellow. It almost looks more like a goldish yellow, or like a mustardy, creamy yellow. It's really weird, but overall, he just looks nice. I gotta say it. He looks pretty decent. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to get it because it's another Bumblebee. But you know what? Another Bumblebee that's pretty decent. I mean, he's different enough to actually warrant a purchase. I love his chest conversion. It just, like, snaps. There is kind of a trick to it, but once you learn the trick, you learn the trick. Here, I'll just do it because it irritates me when someone talks about a trick and doesn't show you. What you do, you just push it down. Don't think otherwise, just push it down. I like these little flaps that kind of give them that movie-accurate detail. That's something that Bumblebees really don't do. I think the only other one that really did it was the Dark of the Moon leader. But yeah, Bumblebee, I really like it. If you like the mold, but not really how Hasbro painted it up, get the Takara, because he has more black on his arms and on his head and on his legs. But overall, that is Bumblebee. Now on to the very last... great, Bumblebee fell. But on to the very last figure of Age of Extinction Wave 1. It is Crosshairs, and, yeah, it's kind of missing, like, a whole detail on the side of him. But yeah, Crosshairs, his vehicle mode is big, like, really big. Here he is next to Masterpiece Roller, just because it's a vehicle that's just kind of lying around. Yeah, there you go. He's decently sized. Like I said, he's a super change robot. So you got the vehicle mode and the he literally is right there. Literally. I mean, there is no denying it. That's like his whole thigh up to his head, and those are his arms, and his legs are just sort of turned inward. Yeah. So that really means his conversion is easy. How easy does it roll? It rolls decently. So yeah, let's look at his robot mode and see how it turned out. Baby got back. Yeah. Like, the whole vehicle mode is just back there. But what were you going to expect with a guy who's kind of supposed to have a trench coat? Hasbro's just going to cheap out and say, oh, we'll just make the trench coat like the whole car. And like, literally, it's like one whole step away from being like most of the car. It is ridiculous, but I still like them. Yeah, obviously due to the trench coat, which actually looks pretty decent. That is how it looks in the movie, or at least in the trailers. You know, besides the weird kibble, I like him. I mean, his arms, they could use some help just because they're like, you know. But overall, he's pretty decent. If you want more paint on him, yet again, you get the Takara. But his head sculpt, I really like. It's all like movable and movable. But yeah, Crosshairs, I really like him. But a part of me kind of feels like he's one of the weakest of the wave. I mean, some people are going to say Bumblebee's the worst because, well, I mean, it's a Bumblebee. God, he looks really orange right now. But I think Bumblebee's a little more, you know, intricately engineered than this guy. That Bumblebee has not a whole lot of kibble compared to other Bumblebees. But yeah, this is Crosshairs. He's a guy with a trench coat, and he's voiced by John DiMaggio, and he's all like, when he's all like dancing, he's all like, you've got to be kidding me, and he's all like, yeah, and he's all like, you've got to be kidding. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite trailers. So, that is Age of Extinction Deluxe Wave 1. I hope you really enjoyed my rather random overview of Wave 1. I would have to say the winner of the wave when it comes to overall beast mode, robot mode, and such it's a battle between the Dinobots. It really is. I mean, if you like a more streamlined, less kibbly look, go with Scorn. But if you like a guy that's just beef, go with Slug. Or Slag, or Slut, or Dirty Hoe, or whatever you want to call him. So guys, that's pretty much it with this video. That is Deluxe Wave 1 of Age of Extinction. 12 minutes long. Wow, this is going to be very, 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 very long to upload. So guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Check my Facebook page if you have a chance. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you guys for Deluxe Wave 2 or Voyager Wave 1. Bye.